Elon Musk is coming for Social Security and Medicare. This is not a drill. This is breaking news from yesterday. Elon Musk was on Fox News yesterday and said that entitlement is the big issue and that it needed to be cut. This directly means that he is coming for Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Don't take my word for it. Let's look at what he was saying. He was talking about the federal budget and the fact that entitlement is the biggest thing that consumes the federal budget. And here is the budget he's talking about. This is from October 2024 to January 2025. And you can see the top items: Social Security, Medicare, national defense, net interest, health, which is Medicaid, and then income security, which is food stamps and other welfare programs. And Elon has already said that Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. And so he's not making secret his desire to cut Social Security and Medicare. Now, Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland said this: I am 100% certain that Musk is looking for an excuse to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And the DOGE team, which Elon is the head of, have been running rampant at the Social Security Administration. Former Social Security official describes hostile takeover by the Musk team. DOGE officials also put millions of taxpayer private data at risk and refuse to say why they need access to it, officials say. And this is Senator Adam Schiff of California responding last night to what Elon Musk said about Social Security on Fox News. He says, Elon Musk and Donald Trump wants to go after Social Security and Medicare. Don't just take my word for it. Here's Elon happily telling a host that's the big one to eliminate, meaning Social Security and Medicare. And this is what Adam Schiff has to say about that. Easy to say when you are the world's richest man, not so easy when you are a senior depending on both, meaning depending on Social Security and Medicare. This is the AP responding to what Elon just said. Elon Musk pushed debunked theories about Social Security on Monday, which is yesterday, while describing federal benefit programs as ripe with fraud, suggesting they'll be primary target in his crusade to reduce government spending. The billionaire entrepreneur is advising President Trump, suggesting that 500 billion to 700 billion in waste is needed to be cut. And here is Elon Musk directly. Most of the federal spending is entitlement, Musk told Fox Business Network. That's the big one to eliminate. Those are his words. The comments on the popular program and other benefits provided Americans could rattle politicians on both sides of the aisle as Musk works to downsize the federal government, especially as he already faces blowback for his chainsaw-wielding approach to laying off workers and slashing programs. And here's the critical part. Musk estimates for the level of fraud in entitlements far outpace figures the watchdog like Social Security Inspector General, who previously said there was 71.8 billion in improper payments from 2015 to 2022. That is less than 1% of benefits paid out during that time period. So Musk is exaggerating the level of fraud and waste in the system as a cover to cut Medicare and Social Security. Now, watch to the end of this video because I want to explain to you what he's talking about regarding entitlement programs. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps are all entitlement programs. I know when that word is used, it becomes triggering for some people, but that is how the government categorizes all of them. So I'm going to explain to you how the budget works and why these are considered entitlements and why they have become a target for DOGE. But in the meantime, let's focus on what is at hand. Why Social Security, Medicare, food stamps are considered entitlement. I'll address that at the end. If you are new here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because all we do is bring you the latest news and update like we're doing right now. Anything in and out of Congress that's going to affect your Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and any personal finance that concerns seniors. But before we get started, go into the comments. Let me know where you're watching this broadcast from. Let me know your city and state, because we like to know where you guys are watching this video from. Now, let's dive into the main breaking news of the day. Elon Musk wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. Well, where's the evidence? Well, here it is. Elon Musk, head of the Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, publicly stated yesterday he wants to cut $700 billion from entitlement programs, including Social Security and Medicare. And here's the quote: "Most of the federal spending is entitlement," Musk told Fox Business on March 10th. That's the big one to eliminate. That's the word he's using. He's not even saying to trim. He says eliminate. Despite President Trump's campaign promise to protect Social Security and Medicare, Musk has been given unprecedented power to cut federal spending without minimum oversight. Musk called entitlements the big one to eliminate and has already closed 10 Social Security field offices with plans to close a dozen more. Here is the federal spending he's talking about. Roughly 2/3 of the $2.4 trillion that the government spent so far this year, the fiscal year, which started in October, has been on mandatory entitlement programs. That word is coming again. Stay till the end of this video. I'll explain what that means. Like Social Security and Medicare, the DOGE effort is focused so far on a very small piece of the federal budget pie, but now he wants to go for the jugular. He wants to go for the big items on the list. Everything in red are the things that seniors care about: Social Security, Medicare, health, income security, which includes food stamps and veterans benefits and services. Everything in purple on the right is what Republicans refuse to touch, which is national defense, which is the third item on the list, and in net interest, which is how much interest the government pays on its debt. That makes sense. The government borrowed the money, so they should pay for it. But if you are not going to touch two of the things that are in the top five, and you want to eliminate $700 billion from the national budget, then what is left? Because what is left at the bottom is nothing. Education is 3%, transportation is 2%, natural resources is 2%, other is 3%. The bulk of the budget is at the top. So if you take out number 3 and number 4, which is national defense and interest, the media part, it means that the ones with meat on the bones are Social Security, Medicare, health, which is Medicaid and children's insurance, health insurance programs, income security, which includes food stamps and other welfare programs to help low-income Americans, and veterans benefits and services. So don't let him play tricks on you. The whole idea that they're going to eliminate waste fraud has gone from, an estimate of a few $1 billion here and there to now he's talking about eliminating $700 billion. Here is where it's going to come from. Musk claims without evidence that there is $600 to $700 billion in annual waste and fraud. So he gets to define what waste and fraud is, because then he can cut your benefits and said you're getting too much benefits that you don't deserve in entitlement programs in figures that no legitimate expert supports. Social Security's Inspector General recorded only $71.8 billion in improper payments over a 7-year period, an entire 7 years. That was less than 1% of what the program paid at the time. And then here's another myth. Musk and Trump falsely suggest millions of deceased people receiving benefits. Let me tell you this. If President Trump and Elon Musk truly believe that millions are being paid Social Security benefits but are dead, which means that somebody is cashing in on those benefits, I can guarantee you they would have arrested them and prosecuted them already. They haven't done it because it's not true. What they've gone in and realized is that in the Social Security database, people that were supposed to be turned off, the way the system works, it's an old computer system. And so even people who have passed away, are still in the system. It doesn't mean that they're getting benefits, because there is a really robust system that reports deaths to Social Security. So I can guarantee you, if people were collecting dead people's Social Security benefits, it would have been the number one thing the Trump administration would have been doing right now. They would have been arresting people left and right and prosecuting them. Musk has publicly declared Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time, revealing his fundamental hostility towards the program millions of seniors rely on. Now, the hostile takeover. Former Social Security Chief of Staff Tiffany Flake testified that Musk's team came in aggressively, demanding access to sensitive systems without proper authorization. DOGE representative allegedly exposed private data in unsecured areas outside the Social Security offices, potentially compromising personal information of nearly every American. When career officials resisted DOGE improper requests, they were forced out and replaced with Musk loyalists who immediately granted them access they demanded. Flick warned that DOGE actions and loss of experienced personnel could result in benefits not being paid out or delayed. I did a previous video yesterday saying that benefits could be delayed. This is why. This is what is going on. Republicans need to cut $880 billion from the Energy and Commerce Committee, which oversees Medicare and Medicaid, to pass Trump's legislative agenda. And they're telling you that they're only going to eliminate waste and fraud. And I did a video and showed you a whole chat that showed you that there is no way they can get $880 billion from the Energy and Commerce Committee, because the bulk, 97% of the things that the Energy and Commerce Committee oversees in terms of dollars are Medicare and Medicaid. So they're not going to be looking anywhere, because the money cannot be found anywhere than in Medicare and Medicaid. So if you're going to cut $880 billion, that's where it's going to come from. The Congressional Budget Office confirmed in March 2025 that when Medicare and Medicaid are excluded, the committee, which is the Commerce and Energy Committee, oversees a total of $581 billion in spending, which is less than the $880 billion target. So they are going to cut Medicare and Medicaid. Without cutting Medicare and Medicaid, Republicans cannot achieve their budget targets, making Musk's target of these programs a mathematical inevitability. Like, it's going to happen, because there is no way they can get that kind of savings without touching those programs. Nearly 30% of all Medicaid dollars directly support Medicare enrollees, meaning any cuts to Medicaid are effectively cuts to Medicare as well. DOGE has already closed 10 Social Security administrative offices and plans to close dozens more, directly reducing access to benefit for seniors. The Social Security Administration announced in March 1st that it will cut approximately 7,000 of its workforce, severely limiting the agency's ability to process claims and serve beneficiaries. Former Social Security Commissioner Martin O'Malley warned that DOGE cuts could lead to staff shortages and IT system outages that could interrupt benefits payments within the next 30 to 90 days. We're talking April benefits here. Acting Commissioner Dudek admitted that DOGE people are learning and they will make mistakes. Why would you put people who don't understand the system to deal with critical systems like Social Security, which pays trillions of dollars, and you bring amateurs, people who don't have professional experience and have to learn on the job when critical systems are at stake? And acknowledging that the critical errors affecting payments are likely to occur. This is the acting commissioner of Social Security, who is there right now, admitting that DOGE people are learning and they will make mistakes, acknowledging that critical errors affecting payments are likely to occur. Guys, this is scary stuff. As the world's richest man, worth approximately $320 billion, Musk has little personal understanding of Social Security reliance or seniors' reliance on Social Security and Medicare. Musk stands to personally benefit from tax cuts that could be funded by entitlement reduction. So don't be fooled. All this reduction is to prepare to pass tax cuts for the rich that could benefit him, Elon Musk himself, creating a clear conflict of interest in his role at DOGE. Musk's companies, including Tesla, have seen their stock values plummet since they began targeting safety net programs, demonstrating public concern about his actions. Musk's personal fortune has dropped $148 billion since January 2025, possibly motivating him to aggressively cut government spending to regain public favor. So, what is Congress saying? Representative Tom Cole boasted about blocking DOGE from closing Social Security offices in his home state. I'm thrilled to announce that common sense prevailed. So he's blocked it from his state, but allowed it for other people's, or allowed it to be closed in other areas. Congressional Progressive Caucus Chair Greg Cesar, I am 100% certain that Elon Musk is looking for an excuse to cut Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid to pay for tax cuts for billionaires. Republican lawmakers in competitive districts have canceled town halls as angry constituents confront about threats to Social Security and Medicare. A February 2025 CNN poll found approximately 50% of Americans believe it is a bad thing that Trump has given Musk such a prominent role in the administration. So, how can you protect your benefits? Advocacy group including Justice in Aging, Medicare Rights Center, and Social Security Works are organizing to fight DOGE's attack on benefit programs. Experts recommend downloading and saving your Social Security statement from the Social Security website immediately in case systems disruption affects your records. This is real. So go on socialsecurity.gov, create a My Social Security account, download your earnings record, and have it with you because given what they're doing, who knows what they could wipe out. Call your representative and tell them you oppose Musk's effort to cut Social Security and Medicare, and share this information with family. Let them know what's happening so that they are also prepared to deal with what is coming. Now, before I go further, let me talk about Medicare for a second. The number you see on the screen, 539-205-2147, is a service, it's a free service that will help you with our partner, Chapter Medicare. They are one of the best Medicare advisory companies in the country. They have access to all 24,000 Medicare plans. Now, here's what I know. 90% of all seniors are in the wrong Medicare plan. Why? Because there's 24,000 plans and people cannot figure out the plan that meets their needs, meets their budget, and the coverage that they need. Well, we've partnered with Chapter. It's a free service, and their agents do not work for commission. And so when they get on the phone with you, their only goal is to help you get into the right Medicare plan. Why should you care? Well, it's open enrollment for Medicare Advantage and it closes in a few weeks. March 31st is the window you have to make a change to switch to a better Medicare Advantage plan. So call Chapter on the number you see on your screen, or you can go to the description to this video. There is a form you can fill out and then they'll reach out to you. It's a free service and they can help you save about $1,100 a year. So let's talk about what I promised earlier. Why is Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps considered entitlement programs? Well, let's get into some budget stuff. The federal government have two categories of budgetary expenditures, and there are entitlement programs and discretionary spending. Entitlement programs must provide benefits to everyone meeting eligibility requirements regardless of the cost of doing so. That is the definition of entitlement programs. So Social Security, Medicare, unemployment compensation, food and nutrition assistance are among the many federal entitlement programs. Some entitlement programs, notably Medicaid, are co-funded by federal and state governments. Spending on entitlement programs depend on the cost of delivering the service and the number of people who qualify. That's important. In contrast, discretionary programs receive a set budget from Congress during each budget cycle. The budget limits either the number of people served by the program or the amount received by each person. Examples of discretionary programs include infrastructure, education, social services, research, and development. Entitlement spending consumes a large and growing portion of the federal budget. As a result, deficit reduction efforts have sometimes targeted entitlement programs. The cost of these programs can be addressed by controlling healthcare costs, helping people work longer, and promoting economic growth. Now, there are certain things I want you to think about, because when we say entitlement programs, some people get bent out of shape because they don't want Social Security or Medicare to be called entitlement programs. because they paid into it. That is true. However, that is what the government calls it. So entitlement programs include Social Security, Medicare, unemployment insurance. And here's the part I want you to see, is that these programs under federal law, all Americans must participate in this program through payroll taxes, meaning Social Security and Medicare. Welfare programs are means tested. They are also entitlement programs, but they're means tested. So if you want to make a distinction between entitlement programs, there are contributory programs. That is what Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment insurance is a part of. Everybody must contribute to that. And then there are the welfare programs that are means tested, which is based on income. That's why low income people are able to get these, because it's income based. And they are non-contributory. So that's the distinction, but both programs are entitlement programs. The thing I want you to think about entitlement programs is that it has grown from 30% in 1960 to 60% in recent years. So it is a big chunk of the budget. And that's why it becomes a target. And here's another thing. A key feature of entitlement is that the government's commitment to providing benefit is open-ended. It means anybody that's eligible gets the benefit. And here's a great example of that. For example, one entitlement program administered by the Medicare program pays for kidney dialysis for anyone who needs it. In recent years, the program has served about 500,000 people a year at a cost of $6.5 billion. However, if an additional 300,000 people needed kidney dialysis in 2023, the Medicaid program would have to pay dialysis for everybody. So that is why entitlements are so problematic, is that everybody that needs it and qualified gets it. But then the program costs continue to grow, and it's hard to finance it, even though, yes, people have paid into Social Security, people have paid into Medicare, but especially Medicare, the cost of it is continuing to grow because healthcare cost is increasing. And I'm sharing with you all of this because I'm trying to give you some background on why these are popular programs for people who are trying to cut the budget deficit want to target. So I'm not going to bore you with the definitions of entitlement. Let's get to the big idea that I want to share with you today. Most of federal spending is entitlements. And Elon Musk says that that's the big one to eliminate. He wants to cut $600 to $700 billion in waste and fraud, when official data shows that only 1% of these programs have been deemed to be fraudulent or a waste. DOGE has closed 10 Social Security offices. They want to close more, and they've laid off 7,000 people already. And the former Social Security Commissioner is saying that this could cause delays in benefits in the next 30 to 90 days based on how much damage DOGE is doing to Social Security. And despite President Trump's campaign pledge not to touch Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, Musk has been given unprecedented power to reshape these critical safety net programs. The Congressional Budget Office says they cannot meet their $880 billion target to cut benefits without cutting Medicaid or Medicare. But nearly 30% of Medicare dollars goes to Medicaid. Nearly 30% of Medicaid, money spent on Medicaid, goes to support Medicare enrollees. And the former Social Security Chief of Staff testified under oath that Musk's team aggressively demanded access to sensitive systems, exposed private data, and placed career officials who resisted, and brought loyalists that gave them access to what they need. And Musk himself stands to gain personally from the tax cut that the Republicans are trying to pass, which they're trying to cut $880 billion from safety net programs in order to finance. DOGE is saying that they will make mistakes, but these mistakes could be costly. And if you want to take action, this is the time to call your representative and let them know that this is not okay, because they are doing damage to systems that seniors rely on for their benefits, and it could cause delays, and we don't know how long it would take if they break something to be able to fix it in order to return benefits to seniors. So this is all I wanted to bring you today. This is breaking news. I wanted to make sure that you are aware of what's happening to DOGE and your Social Security benefits, and the fact that Elon went on TV yesterday and said that entitlements are the things, the big ones he wants to eliminate, meaning Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are on the chopping block. So you have been informed. It is now time for people who care about these programs to rise up and make their voices heard. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.